Welcome. Today, we're venturing beyond Nepal's stunning landscapes to explore the hidden realities faced by its women. This journey isn't about judgment. It's about understanding the traditions that still shape and sometimes confine women's lives. These are not distant stories, they're the lived experiences of countless women and girls in Nepal today. My goal is to open a window into these realities, to give voice to those seldom heard. So take a deep breath and join me as we uncover the shocking rules that still define womanhood in Nepal. Let's start with Chhaupadi, a centuries-old practice where menstruating women are exiled from their homes, forced to endure isolation simply because of a natural biological process. During their periods, girls and women are sent away to tiny, unsafe huts, often on the edge of their villages. Here, they are exposed to freezing temperatures, wild animals, and the constant threat of being alone in the dark. These huts lack even the most basic sanitation and security. There's no running water, no proper bedding, and barely any protection from the elements, turning what should be a time of rest into a monthly ordeal filled with fear and discomfort. The psychological toll is immense. From their very first period, girls are taught that their bodies are impure, that they bring bad luck, and that they must hide away in shame. This stigma can last a lifetime, shaping how they see themselves and their place in society. Chhaupadi was officially outlawed in 2005, but in many remote regions the practice continues, defying both the law and basic human logic. Deep-rooted beliefs and lack of awareness keep it alive. The tradition is passed down through generations, fueled by fear, superstition, and the pressure to conform. Elders teach the young that breaking the rules will bring disaster, making it incredibly hard to break the cycle. As a result, girls miss out on school, fall behind in their studies, and face emotional trauma simply for menstruating. Their education and confidence suffer, limiting their future opportunities. But there is hope. Activists and local women are fighting back, demolishing these huts and working tirelessly to educate communities about the dangers and injustice of Chhaupadi. They hold workshops, speak to families and challenge old beliefs, but change is slow and often met with resistance. For many women, this is a fight for the most basic right, to sleep safely and with dignity in their own homes without fear or shame. Chhaupadi is not just a tradition, it's a recurring punishment for being female, a monthly reminder of inequality and exclusion. The struggle continues, led by brave women who refuse to let the next generation suffer as they did. They are determined to break the silence and reclaim their rights. This movement is about more than just ending a harmful practice. It's about reclaiming dignity, safety, and the right to be seen and heard, one village at a time. The battle is uphill, but every demolished hut, every conversation, and every empowered girl is a step toward freedom and equality. The right to be safe in your own home should never be up for debate. It's a right every woman and girl deserves, no matter where she lives. In Nepal, child marriage continues to rob thousands of girls of their childhoods and futures, casting a long shadow over entire communities. Imagine being just 13 years old, pulled from the classroom and forced to marry a stranger. Your dreams of learning and growing are suddenly replaced by adult burdens you never chose. Early marriage abruptly ends a girl's education, trapping her in a cycle of poverty and dependence that can last a lifetime. The chance to build a better future slips away. The pressure comes from many directions: poverty, tradition, and the deeply held belief that a girl's purity is tied to her family's honor. Families often feel they have no choice. The health risks are severe. Young girls face dangerous pregnancies, higher maternal mortality, and lifelong complications, all before their bodies are ready. Domestic violence and a lack of agency are heartbreakingly common, as girls become wives and mothers before they're emotionally or physically prepared. Their laughter is silenced, their identities lost to endless domestic duties. The simple joys of childhood are replaced by responsibility and isolation. Progress is slow, but there is hope. Organizations and activists are working tirelessly to empower girls, educate families, and shift mindsets that have persisted for generations. For every girl who escapes this fate, many more remain unheard, their childhoods quietly erased by tradition and silence. This isn't just a cultural issue. It's a violation of basic human rights, and it demands our urgent attention and action. The fight is for every girl's right to choose her own path, to dream, and to decide her own future. Ending child marriage means giving girls back their voices, their laughter, and the futures they deserve. It means restoring hope. This crisis is often hidden in plain sight, woven into the fabric of daily life, but it cannot be ignored any longer. Change is possible, but it requires challenging deep-rooted beliefs and standing together as a community. Every rescued childhood is a victory for hope, a step toward a brighter, more just future for all. The dowry system, or daijo, turns marriage into a financial transaction, where love and partnership are overshadowed by the exchange of wealth. Families save for years, sometimes going into crippling debt, just to marry off their daughters. The pressure to meet dowry demands can consume a family's entire savings, leaving them financially vulnerable for generations. A daughter's worth is measured in cash, gold, or property. Her marriage becomes a business deal, not a partnership built on mutual respect or affection. If the dowry is deemed insufficient, brides face humiliation, emotional abuse, or even physical violence. The fear of not meeting expectations haunts many women. Dowry deaths, women killed or tortured for bringing too little, are a horrifying reality, with countless stories left untold and justice rarely served. Though illegal, the practice persists, hidden behind closed doors and disguised as tragic accidents or family disputes, making it difficult to challenge or expose. The emotional toll is crushing. Women live in constant fear, their safety and happiness tied to their family's wealth and ability to pay. This system devalues women, treating them as burdens to be bought and sold rather than individuals with dreams and potential. True change means teaching sons that wives are partners, not prizes or possessions, and that respect is more valuable than gold. Empowering daughters through education and independence is key. When girls are given opportunities, they can break free from the cycle of dowry and dependency. The fight is to end the idea that a woman's worth can be measured in gold, property, or any material possession. Every woman deserves to be valued for who she is, for her abilities, her spirit, and her dreams, not for what her family can pay. Dismantling dowry is essential for dignity, equality, and a future where every woman can live free from fear and oppression. In Nepal, faith is central, but for many women, access to the divine is restricted. Menstruating women are barred from temples and religious ceremonies, seen as impure. Some temples exclude women entirely, regardless of age or circumstance. These bans are rooted in ancient myths and patriarchal interpretations, not spiritual truth. Imagine being a lifelong devotee, only to be turned away at the temple gate. The message is clear: women are spiritually inferior, their devotion conditional. Yet, at home, women are the keepers of faith, performing daily rituals and teaching tradition. Activists are challenging these bans, demanding equal access to worship. Their fight is not against faith, but against exclusion. If God does not discriminate, why should temples? Spiritual equality is a right, not a privilege. Clothing in Nepal is more than tradition. It's a tool of control. Women are expected to wear saris or kurta surwal. Modern clothes are seen as disrespectful. Dress codes limit self-expression and reinforce patriarchal norms. A woman's character is judged by her sleeves, not her actions. Restrictive clothing makes sports and daily life harder, confining women to traditional roles. Pressure comes from family, community, and strangers, every choice scrutinized. The argument of safety blames women for harassment instead of addressing the real issue. This is about autonomy, the right to choose how to dress without fear. Clothing should be a choice, not a mandate. The fight for wardrobe freedom is part of the larger struggle for women's rights. Every woman deserves to feel comfortable in her own skin. True liberation starts with the freedom to choose. Inheritance laws have long left Nepali women as outsiders in their own families. Traditionally, property passes from father to son, leaving daughters with nothing. Even after legal reforms, social pressure keeps women from claiming their rights. A daughter asking for her share is seen as greedy, risking family conflict and ostracism. Without property, women lack financial security and independence. Their futures depend on relationships with men, first fathers, then husbands. If a marriage fails, many women are left destitute with no claim to home or land. Families often persuade daughters to sign away their rights for harmony. This reinforces the idea that sons are assets, daughters are temporary. Activists are working to educate women and support their claims. The fight for inheritance is a fight for equality and security. Every woman deserves a place to call her own. In Nepal, women's work never ends, inside or outside the home. Even as women become doctors or entrepreneurs, they're still expected to handle all household chores. From dawn to dusk, women cook, clean, care for children and elders, unpaid and unacknowledged. Girls are taught domestic skills early, while boys are free to play or study. This division shapes lives, reinforcing the idea that a woman's value is in her labor. The mental load, managing every detail of family life, leaves little room for rest or growth. Modernity brings new pressures. Women must excel at work and at home, an impossible standard. Asking men to share chores is seen as defiance. Men who help are mocked. Change requires recognizing household labor as real work. True equality starts at home with shared responsibility. The quiet revolution begins in every kitchen and living room. Women deserve rest, recognition and respect. The fight for equality is fought in every household every day. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Nepal's hidden traditions. By listening, you've taken the first step toward change. If these stories moved you, please subscribe and help us amplify these voices. Your support fuels more stories, more awareness, and more hope. Share your thoughts below. Let's keep this vital conversation going. Together we can shine a light and help create a future where every woman is free.